socket.
Hey y'all, welcome to MMA 101. My name is Nick, this is Travis, and we're going to begin the program here looking over some of the basics of MMA to build a strong foundation. Whether you're just starting or you want to polish up on some of the basics, these videos will help you build better habits and work out some drills to really gain the ability that you can apply to a sparring. In today's video, we're going to cover the basic MMA stance as well as the basic rules of movement. We're gonna cover the technique, some do's and some don'ts, and at the end, I'm gonna show y'all a couple of drills that we can do at home or at the gym to build that muscle memory. All right, guys, so starting with the stance, when it comes to MMA, we wanna make sure that our legs evenly distribute our weight. Right? So we're not leaning too much on the front foot, we're not leaning too much on the back foot. We're slightly squatted to where we can explode forwards or backwards. We don't really want to be super high up here like in Muay Thai because there's takedowns in MMA, right? So if I'm super high up here and Travis shoots a single leg, right? I'm basically giving him that single leg. It's really hard for me to defend if my foot is really high up in the air like in Muay Thai. The same thing goes with boxing, right? If I'm super heavy on my front foot, like a boxer would, if he kicks my leg or my calf, right, that's gonna hurt a lot, okay? So we wanna kind of be in that Goldilocks zone of having like half of our weight on our back leg, half of our weight on our front leg, to where if he kicks my leg, right, I have time to step back, and if he shoots a shot, I have time to react and get out of the way. Another detail with the stance, we want to always be on the ball of our feet, okay? It's kind of hard to see from here, but I'm kind of on my tippy toes. Not fully, but I'm a little elevated. My heel is not touching the ground, right? You want to be like that with both feet for the most part, okay? Why? That allows us to go forward and backwards quickly, okay? Travis, stay on the balls of your feet, right? If I'm flat-footed and he moves forward real fast, I'm gonna be slower. But if I'm on the balls of my feet like this, right, I can move in and out at the same speed that he can, right? We're lighter on our feet, right? The other thing I want you to note is how my feet are spaced out when I'm facing forward, right? We don't really wanna be here in like one straight line, right? This is kind of common like in Taekwondo and stuff, but generally in MMA, we want to have our feet spaced out like this, okay? Because that creates like a third dimension, right? I can move this way now, and forward and backwards, right? I can move everywhere, okay? All right, so going over movement, moving back and forth, it's not gonna be like walking like we normally do. It's gonna feel really weird at first, but the more that we do it, the more that we shadow box, the more comfortable we're gonna be walking back and forth in our stance, right? So, a regular human being walks like this, right? Hopefully, right? In MMA, you wanna avoid that at all costs, right? We don't wanna cross our legs in any way. We wanna move forward with our legs staying distant from each other, okay? This is how movement looks like in an MMA stance. If I want to go forward, I'm pushing forward without crossing my legs, and if I want to go backwards, the same thing goes, right? All right, now that we have a general idea of what our stance is and what movement looks like, we're gonna go over some do's and some don'ts of movement and stance in MMA. So starting out with the do's, right? We definitely do want to keep our weight underneath us, okay? What does that mean? That means that if I'm moving forward, my whole body's moving forward, right? Nothing is staying behind, right? I'm not staying here, and I'm not leading with my head, okay? You're together going forward and you're together going backwards, okay? All right, next up is being receptive and being attentive to what your partner's doing in a sparring situation, okay? Basically, that just means have some common sense. If he's moving forward, I don't really want to move into him, right? Because I'm going to end up bumping into him. And if he's moving backwards, I can take that space up safely by moving forward. And last is be on the balls of your feet, okay? Whenever we're moving, even though it might feel awkward at first, the first few times, it's better to be on the balls of our feet, right? Because it'll make us quicker and it'll make our punches pop, okay? If I'm down here, I'm gonna be slow, and if he throws something, it's gonna be really hard to get out of the way. But if I'm bouncing, if I'm here on the top of my feet, right? I can move, I can cut angles, right? It's better for you, better for your cardio, better for your technique. Now a couple of don'ts to be looking out for in your first few days of moving around, okay? The number one thing that's common with beginners is crossing your legs, right? And again, that's because it's like natural for humans to walk like this, right? It's the first reaction. But we do not want to ever end up here, right? Or here, okay? Why? If I'm right here, right? If I throw a shot or I move forward or anything and I cross my legs, and let's say Travis is real quick and he throws something at me, I can't do anything about it, right? It's really hard for me to get out of the way when I'm like cross-footed like this, right? But if I move forward and I have both of my legs under me and they're not crossed, I can move backwards, okay? Same thing goes for attacking, right? If I'm like this, it's really hard for me to really get any power on anything, right? But if I'm here and I use my whole body weight, that's where the power comes, all right? The next thing that I see is moving into the power hand, okay? What does that mean? All right, Travis has a left hand and a right hand, okay? Travis's power comes from his backhand. Why? Well, that's because it's the farthest away, right? It has the most time to gain, power, right? So this is usually the one that knocks people out, right? If I walk into this one, chances are I'm gonna get knocked out, okay? So when we're moving around, and this is more of our first time getting used to sparring, we want to be wary of that backhand, right? You don't ever want to be moving this way, okay? You see how I'm moving towards his power hand? We want to, as a rule of thumb, be moving away from his power hand, this way, okay? You see how now if he throws a right hand, I have more time to react, right? If I'm moving into it and he throws something, I have less time to react. Now it doesn't mean you can never move this way, but it means when you're starting out, when you're sparring, think, okay, his power hand is back here. More or less, I want to try to avoid moving this way at all costs, okay? The other thing that I see, and this is super, super common, honestly at all levels, because it's such a human reaction, it's so common, it's leaning, right, when we're moving. This goes into a little bit more on defense, on like defensive skills, but it has to do with movement as well, right? When I'm getting out of the way of a punch, it's very, very common for people to go like this, throw like a hook, right? You see, I lean back when I'm going backwards, right? Human reaction, we want to get the face away from the punch, right? That's the goal. But that's a habit that we don't want to build. Okay, because this is not proper, okay? It's dangerous, and it actually leaves you at more risk than if you just move back like this. Why? Okay, Travis is a long guy, right? Let's say he throws one hook and I get away with it. Oh, okay, I'm good, right? Let's say I miscalculate the distance, right? Go real slow. Let's say I miscalculate, right? And I'm leaning back. What does that mean for my chin, right? I'm so exposed here that that's really gonna hurt, right? Now, inversely, if I'm moving safely and properly and he throws a hook, right? and I miscalculate, I still have protection here, and my chin isn't up in the air to where I'm like 100% gonna get hit, right? So it mitigates risk with success and if you fail, right? That's why we wanna be avoiding this lean, right? Additionally, you can't really do anything from the lean, right? So even if I get out of the way of a hook, right? What am I gonna do here? I can't do anything. If I go all the way back to swing, Travis is out of here before I'm even like halfway there, right? But if I stay here, I can respond, right? All right, now that we've gone over some of the basics of the MMA stance, I'm gonna show y'all 2 drills that y'all can do, one with a partner, one without a partner, so that y'all can do at home or at the gym to really drill in those habits of a healthy MMA stance, okay? Starting with the one with the partner, this is called the zombie drill, okay? So Travis here is a zombie, okay? He has both of his hands out in the air, but he can't punch, okay? I'm running away from the zombie, okay? But I have to do so in the MMA stance without breaking any of the rules, okay? So if Travis comes forward, I'm moving out of the way with my MMA stance, right? See how my feet are not intersecting, they're not crossing, right? And we're not moving around too much because I don't want to get out of the camera shot, but y'all feel free to take up as much space as y'all have, right? Always keep in mind when I'm moving backwards, my feet are not ever going to cross. If I'm moving sideways, my feet are never going to cross, okay? Y'all can do that for a round and then switch partners. So now I'm the zombie and then Travis is the one going away from me. All right, and the next drill that we can do, and y'all can do this at home, is basically a form of shadow boxing, right? But with a real focus on going forwards and backwards, okay? So we're gonna be here in our stance, and we're gonna work on moving forwards and moving backwards, okay? Then we're gonna throw a jab, moving forward and moving backward, okay? Same thing goes with our cross. Cross, moving backwards. Now, if you want another in-depth breakdown of like how to do a jab, how to do a cross, we also have those on the channel. And if you don't know how to do the punches, that's okay. Stick to just the stance, right? All right, y'all, so that was the basics of the stance and movement in MMA. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.